I love when a tool can be used beyond the intended purpose for a variety of other learning purposes, and Google Slides is one of those tools. So I'm going to be sharing with you an activity called Thin Slides that I think is awesome. It can be used at the beginning, middle, or end of a lesson, and it can be used across content areas and grade levels. So this particular activity was created by John Crippo and Marlena Hepburn. They wrote the book Edu Protocols, which is fantastic. Just tons of ideas in here to bring into the brick and mortar or remote learning environment. They also wrote Edu Protocols 2, and they have an Edu Protocols for math. All fantastic. So in this particular activity, you are starting by giving your students a prompt. You are going to give them an editable copy of your Google Slide template deck. And then you are going to front load by giving them instructions. And so you will tell them that they're going to claim a slide by writing their name on it. They're going to insert a picture that illustrates one of their favorite things and then write a word to describe it. And if time remains, they can change background color, font, styles, etc. And so what you will do is you will create a slide that has the prompt in it. So I might have the actual prompt up here in the top instead of saying insert a word to describe the picture here. And then I might have a box underneath like I do where they can insert their picture and maybe they put their word off to the side. So a variety of ways that you can set that up. I have a place for their name here on the bottom. Now, I created this image as a fixed image, meaning that this white rectangle and the thought bubble and the box are all unmovable. Students, even if they're editing, will not be able to move that. But I added on top of the image these boxes for them to be able to add their text, images and different things and be able to write their names. So in order to create a background that's fixed, what you're going to do is I'm going to go all the way down and create a new slide. And I'm going to get rid of all of the background stuff here. And then I am going to go to choose image under background. And then I am going to grab the image that I want. So I already have this image downloaded, so I'm going to open it, and then it's going to bring that into my presentation as a fixed image. Now you can see nothing is clickable on the image itself, and then I am going to duplicate that as many times as I want to. Now initially, to create this image, I create all of this in Google Slides. So what I do is I make my background just the way that I want it, and then I click on it, I go to File, Download, and I download it as a PNG image. And so that way I can bring it back in as a fixable image that can't be moved. So anyway, just a little trick that I really like in this when you're using slides in collaborative ways. So, and you don't have to have a background at all. I mean, as students get used to this activity, it can just be a blank canvas. It can just be a white slide, and then you give them the prompt, and then they'll know what to do. They're going to add their picture, they're going to add their word. They can create whatever aesthetically pleasing and creative background as they want. So again, you can structure this at the beginning, and then as they get used to it, you can let go of some of the, fixed things, the templates, and you can allow them to design and to create. So if I was a student doing this, I would, after my students given me directions, and set the timer. So a teacher would maybe set the timer for 5 minutes. As they get used to this activity, you can cut down the time, and so maybe it'll end up only being 2 or 3 minutes after they get used to doing it. So they'll set the timer. As a student, I am going to go ahead and grab a slide, and so I'm going to put my name here. Let's say the prompt was share one of your favorite things. Well, I absolutely love the ocean. So I'm going to go to Image, search the web, and I am going to find a picture of the ocean. And I am going to grab that and I'm going to insert it into my presentation. And a word to describe it, I might put serenity. I'm done. So what that took me maybe 30 seconds, if that. So again, as you do this activity more and more, your students are going to get pretty fast with it. And then if that student had time, they maybe can add, maybe the bonus is adding a second word or a second picture, or maybe if you had just a blank template, then they could spend time just really personalizing this and adding other things to it. When the timer is up, then your students are going to each present for 8 to 12 seconds max. So what I like to do is while they're working, I like to put it in grid mode so that I can see everybody's slides at one time. I might have this on my handheld device, whether it's a Chromebook or my phone, and then I can be walking around the classroom, interacting with kids and seeing the work done in real time. And that works really well. And then when it was time to present, I might then go into presentation mode and then just go one by one through each of the slides and give students like an 8 to 10 second runway. Now, if you were doing this in a Zoom, remote learning kind of a situation, what you can do is you can have this link, make sure it's editable, but you can have this link as, send it through the chat. And then they all will be able to get on it. They'll be able to grab their slides. You can share your screen so that they see presentation mode, but then they have another tab open where they're working within their slides. And so I think that is a great way to work it when you are in a remote learning environment. You can use that chat box to give that link. If you were in the classroom, you can either put that link in in Canvas for them to grab it there. If you in your district are using another learning management system, you could use something different. You can also have a QR code where they scan it. Maybe it's on one of your slides and they can get to that link by that way, or you can maybe do a shortened URL that you have up on the board or on the projector and they can access it that way as well. So lots and lots of different ways that you can do this in the remote or brick and mortar classroom. You, again, can use this in any subject area across grade levels. So think about how you could use this as a beginning of, classroom activity. Maybe you are having them recall learning from the day before and you're going to ask a question about yesterday's lesson. Or maybe you're going to show a photo or ask a prompt about today's lesson and see what they already know about it. Maybe you are going to do it as a reflection activity at the end to get an idea of what students learned that day and have them reflect on their learning in that way as well. So many ways you can use it. Again, students can be creative. They're collaborating. They're communicating out to the class, and they're critically thinking about their learning. So it's an awesome activity. I hope you love it.